who are part of different committees. Over 5 lakh party members are there in Kerala. They are all members of branches, local committees and so on. Nearly 40,000 committees are there from state committee to branch. All these committees are being met and free and frank discussions are taking place. And in the first week of June, there will be Secretariat and State Committee meeting where the result of the exercise within the party, free and fearless inner party discussion, interrogating party committee's work, the achievements, the gains of the party, the gains of the government. At the same time, what led to the severe setback? So the shortcomings and mistakes, if any. So views of the comrades would be discussed by the State Secretariat and State Committee. Similarly, in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Assam, Puducherry, this exercise would be undertaken. Then, in the month of July, we are advancing the Central Committee meeting. There will be the special Central Committee would be met. Generally, once in 3 months we hold our Central Committee meeting, but we are advancing the Central Committee meeting where the review that has been undertaken by different state committees would be placed. Before that, there will be Politburo meeting to prepare the report for the special Central Committee meeting. And through this process, we hope we would be able to identify the reasons that led to the setbacks in Kerala and also the results that different states gave during the election. We have noticed that apart from the severe setback that we suffered in Kerala, there is this trend of the ascendancy of the far right in the country as a whole. With BJP having captured West Bengal, we observe that in over 20 states of our country, BJP are controlling state governments independently or in alliance with various NDA partners. And over 7 union territories are also directly controlled by BJP or their allies. It's a very, very serious situation. Especially when we view the situation that various constitutional authorities are being misused and converted as instruments of the union government, BJP government. This was very evident in West Bengal and Assam. The delimitation had been carried out in two areas in our country, Assam and Jammu and Kashmir. In both these places, the delimitation was misused to the advantage of the party in Delhi. Other details I don't want to explain. In Assam, we had an assembly constituency. CPM was having an assembly constituency. It was clearly because of the gerrymandering of that particular constituency along with other constituencies, which led to the advantage of BJP. And that is what led to the defeat of the sitting CPIM MLA in Assam. So this ascendancy of the far right is a major phenomena that needs to be noticed after this set of the assembly elections. We have observed the countervailing force that should be developed in the political firmament, the opposition arrangement. the growth of this far right and the union government displaying fascistic, neo-fascistic tendencies, the arrangement within the opposition has to be further strengthened. However, the attitude of Congress towards other opposition parties is not helpful in building the unity of the secular opposition to fight RSS BJP. Central Committee decided to condemn the baseless allegations aired by important Congress leaders, its president and leader of the opposition, while participating in the election campaign in Kerala, that CPM had a deal with the BJP. So anybody with rudimentary knowledge of present Indian politics understands that CPIM has been taking. It is beyond imagination to level this kind of an allegation that there is a deal between CPIM and the BJP. This is what is topmost leaders of Congress repeated during their election campaign, along with many malicious, unfounded allegations against the individual leaders of the CPIM and the left. So we have to politically fight, but the dignity and decorum that needs to be maintained when such political fight is being carried out, this is not being displayed by Congress. This also we know. We are conscious that Congress has to play a very important role in the fight against RSS BJP, but in consideration of the narrow immediate demands of an electoral battle in a particular state, many a time Congress misses this particular point. Then you would be getting a communique. So I don't want to elaborate what is content of this communique. There is a reference about delimitation, the move of BJP, linking with women's reservation, which is universally accepted, but is not being implemented. Even when it was introduced, it was declared that it will be implemented after so many exercises, new census, then due delimitation, then we will. That time itself, we all demanded that it has to be straight away implemented for 543 Lok Sabha seats and assembly seats. Now all of a sudden, when the election process was still on, strangely, special session of Parliament was called, then linking with delimitation. So atrocious, undemocratic things have been done by, tried to be, so to be done by the Prime Minister. Then when election campaign is still on, using Doordarshan, All India Radio and all that, Prime Minister's address to the nation that opposition parties are against women's reservation. This was a lie uttered by the Prime Minister. Because we all want women's reservation. So Central Committee reiterates that women's reservation should be separately brought in. It should be implemented in 2029 Lok Sabha election. There is election in UP next year. May not be possible to implement an assembly election. But from 2029 Lok Sabha election onwards, for the 243 Lok Sabha seats, women's reservation should be implemented. If BJP is sincere about their claim, but they wanted to tie this with delimitation and enhancement of the seats to over 800, so that the areas where BJP and RSS is unable to influence the minds of the people, leave those places away, out. Then with the states, 13, 14 states like UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, I don't want to count all that. BJP wanted to get enough number of seats to get a two-third majority in Lok Sabha so that they can do whatever they want, whatever the people of Northeast or South decide, whatever be the voting pattern. So this is a diabolic project to implement Hindu Rashtra through this machination, and people need to be vigilant about this. All opposition parties need to be vigilant about this. This also we have seriously discussed. Then again now SIR, Special Intensive Revision of Voters List, is going to be implemented in another 17 states, 17 more states. The way this has been implemented is not revision of voter list, as was mentioned again, removal from the voters list. And a special category is being made for West Bengal. Logical discrepancy. Supreme Court asks, what is this logical discrepancy you are speaking about now only? In the case of other states, this was not there. Now for West Bengal, you are saying this. Now more dangerous, pernicious move is the decision of Bengal and Bihar governments that those who are not there in the voters list, they would not get various subsidized services of the government. In Bihar, around 5 lakh names are being removed from the ration card. People who are entitled to have ration card. It's a very, very dangerous development. In 1935, September, there was Nuremberg Amendment in Hitler's Germany, targeting certain segments. At that point of time, through this Nuremberg Amendment, it is known as Nuremberg Amendment. He made the speech there. Jews were to be removed. Their citizenship was to be denied. Something similar is happening, long and short, in our country today. Impact of the attack on Iran by Israel and America, USA. We are discussing it. India is also suffering from its impact. At that time, Marco Rubio is taken around our country as a hero by Narendra Modi government. Very shameful. Rise in the price of fuel, those details are being given during a gap of 11 days. Huge enhancement of the price of diesel, petrol and so on. I don't know why I mentioned it to you earlier. On 15th of March, when I happened to be in Varanasi, Prime Minister's constituency, I read in the newspapers that Annapurna temple, where for 300 years, every day people used to be fed freely, Annadana in Annapurna temple. That was stopped on 15 March because there was no fuel. That one they made alternate arguments. So this is a major problem. Lives of the people are directly affected by the war and the problems in the Strait of Hormuz. Availability of fertilizer is also going to be a big problem in the agricultural sector. Food prices would definitely be a matter of concern. There are meteorological surveys prediction that this time the monsoon would be below par. That would also affect agricultural sector. Rural employment guarantee is being subverted. From 1st of July onwards, this is supposed to be implemented. Party CC has decided to support the agitation of the rural poor who are affected by this. During this time, we have witnessed spontaneous workers' upsurges in different parts, especially northern part of our country. The Yogi Adityanath government tried to suppress the workers' uprising. Central Committee condemned it. It was the CPM party comrades and members of parliament who rushed to the rescue of the agitating workers in Noida and nearby places. Central Committee also discussed about the attacks on women, Dalits and Adivasis. Central Committee has already released a resolution related to NEET paper leak and also the CBSE 12th class answer sheet related issues. We demand that the Education Minister has no moral right to continue with all these developments. Now the CJP, a new phenomenon, Cockroach Janata Party. There are reports about how it started in sarcasm, but it was a sharp criticism about the observations made by the Chief Justice of our country. Then Chief Justice came out and clarified. I was only referring to the people who are holding fake degrees. Then immediately the retaliation came. Chief Justice of India should not have criticized the Prime Minister of our country. That is when he spoke about the fake degrees and all that. Now, there is widespread support from various sections within the country and outside to Cockroach Janata Party. This explains the kind of frustration and concern youth and students of our country are having about the policies of the union government. The rising unemployment, the lack of opportunities for higher studies. The government has taken initiative to ban CJP on the social media handles. It is highly undemocratic action from the part of the government. Central Committee condemns this. We hope that CJP would also be on democratic stream which would expose and oppose the anti-youth, anti-people policies of the union government. Central Committee also demanded that Doordarshan and Government of India should take steps to ensure that ensuing FIFA World Cup would be streamed in our country. People would be getting opportunity to view the FIFA World Cup. And there is also double standard. The World Cup is being held in USA, Canada and Mexico. USA, along with Israel, attacked Iraq. Now Russia is not being allowed to participate in it because what they have done in Ukraine. So Russia is being prevented from participating in the World Cup, whereas World Cup itself is happening where the country, USA, captured head of state from Venezuela. Now they have declared that they would attack Cuba and they will arrest the previous president, Raul Castro. We have also passed a resolution extending solidarity with Cuba, and we have also decided to launch anti-imperialist campaign during this period. Right to vote has become a key issue in our country. Party Central Committee has decided to initiate discussions about the changes that needs to be brought in electoral reforms. Election Commission should have acted as an impartial umpire. The entire team is working as though they are servants of the ruling party at the center. Notification of labor code, it is also coming to operation. So there would be joint action by trade union organization, Kisan Sabha and all that. Party Central Committee has decided to extend support to the workers' resistance and movement. This is all.
In the changed scenario, would the party ready to cooperate with the PMC in West Bengal against fight against BJP?
all these years, Trinamool Congress has been conducting itself as a highly undemocratic party. Even during the elections, one of our comrades was killed by Trinamool Congress. So when such attacks are being unleashed by Trinamool Congress, our people were not allowed to participate in the election process. It is an absolutely premature question. The kind of behavior that Trinamool is carrying on, there is no question of this issue coming up for consideration.
So you spoke about right-wing assertion.
Sorry?
Right-wing assertion and the need for the opposition to come together on this. What's being planned on in that direction? There's a central committee also well on how to take it forward. Because that is the key concern. You mentioned Trinamool working in its own way and other parties, and you're seeing Tamil Nadu again, there is a lot of confusion and chaos. So how is the opposition going to, in the last press conference you also spoke about how there will be a real action and all of that. Can you tell us a little bit?
You see, India is a huge subcontinent. You see, almost more than Europe, but it's a country. Everything said and so there are a lot of complexities in different regions, different states. So when we started this broad opposition arrangement called India Bloc, we were clear that there would be states, there were states where components of the India Bloc would be engaging in friendly fights in the states due to this state specific situation. At times the friendly contest would become little unfriendly. And at the beginning, today I mentioned that it's not only unfriendly, it would be indignified also at times. But the fascistic RSS and the BJP controlled by RSS, it is a big threat to the country. Secular, democratic, republican constitution of our country, the idea of India. So on that, all these parties which are having their own problems in different states, in parliament election, try to put up one candidate wherever possible. Out of 543, if we are able to leave alone 43, 443, there could be mutual contest. Still 400 seats are there. If most of the seats out of these 400, the opposition arrangement is able to win, in the last election itself, at one point of time, everyone was hoping that BJP front is losing. So, possibility of defeating RSS controlled BJP is very much there. But as you have rightly pointed out, there are problems in different states. So, we should try to resolve those problems in different states to the best of our ability. That is what we should try. But you cannot wish away the objective reality that exists today.
So you are saying that setting a political team in attending a state committee meeting in Kerala, because how many number of team is going to?
No, in state committee meetings, depending on the requirement, there will be, different number of comrades going. Party center will decide who are all to go. In certain cases, we have already decided. For example, Tripura, I am going along with me, Muhammad Salim and Shirdi Bhattacharya. These two are coming. About Kerala, we are yet to decide.
That's also MP.
To Tripura, I am going along with Muhammad Salim and Shirdi Bhattacharya. Three of us are. Jidan is already there. He's a Politburo member. So there will be General Secretary, 2 Politburo members from outside Tripura, 1 Politburo member from Tripura. Like that. It is not a big news. You see, don't make a big news out of it. So this happens. In Tamil Nadu State Committee also, there will be there will be times when I go, there will be times when other comrades would also go.
Already you spoke about the course correction action in Kerala, in all states. Can we expect a leadership change in Kerala after these exercises?
Course correction does not mean changing the leaders. Leaders, if there are some inadequacy in them, leaders should change themselves if there is some deficiency. We don't have the system of removing leaders from their responsibility. Leaders who continue to lead, if any inadequacy is there in their context, that we will change. That is how we will do. And change is required from top to bottom. That is the decision of the party.
Sir, you have raised this NEET paper leak issue, and Supreme Court today criticized the central government for back-to-back NEET paper leak incidents. Would you like to appeal the India Bloc parties or all the opposition parties for united pan-India movement against the BJP leaders who are including this paper leak issue, as we have highlighted BJP leaders who are behind this leakage?
This is also a good idea you are giving us. We will have to consult with others. It's a good idea. We will consult.
There was an allegation from the Trinamool Congress on rigging of the poll in West Bengal. Mamata didn't accept the poll result also. So, what's your feedback from the West Bengal Congress or leaders?
You see, CPM and the left front is a victim of rigging by Congress leader Siddhartha Shankar Ray in 1972. Okay, huge rigging in the history of Bengal. After that, when Ms. Mamata Banerjee was the chief minister, there were undemocratic way of conducting election, and Mamata's mobs coming and denying, people from exercising their, voting right. Our officers have been captured. Many officers have been captured by Mamata Banerjee. So now, when she says that she lost power because of rigging, maybe she might have found out that some rigging that she was practicing, this time BJP practice against her. We are not very sure about that. We have to find out.
Sir, there is any selection to Central Committee what is that clean up in Kerala?
That is something the state committee of Kerala party, when they meet, they will discuss and take a decision. West Bengal, they have decided to hold a cleanup. That is extended state committee meeting.
Kerala not decided.
Yeah, they have not discussed it. Now you are giving them ideas. Thank you. I think
in your preliminary review, do you think that there was some anti-incumbency wave against the LDF government in Kerala?
no preliminary review. We have identified the remarkable performance of the LDF government in every sphere, and this has been recognized by Niti Aayog. When Niti Aayog undertake the study of the performance in different fields, in all important areas, Kerala was in the forefront. And you also know some papers. So when such a performance happens, there is no need for people to think that such a well-performed government should not continue. But now the experience is that people wanted the government to change. And there were even some people were heard saying that, no, you had 10 years, now let them have 5 years. Such casual observation. That was also there, Emma. Then some people may have, the government as a whole performed well, but we have criticism about this and that. So there are various, type of assessment and observations people are having, party comrades are having. Now we would collate, study, and come to some common understanding in the state secretariat and state government, so that we would know what all prompted people to vote against a government which performed extremely well in the history of all the governments in the state. I don't want to bore you by, narrating all that, but Kerala is the only state where extreme poverty has been eradicated. Total literacy, it was during Nayanar government. People's Plan, it was 1996 Nayanar government. A new idea which was discussed the world over. So many such initiatives. Even the new government announced that there would be a department for, senior citizens. That report was given by T.K. Anandi. The LDF government undertook a study, and that committee recommended that there has to be a department. Only that government could not announce it. That is there in the file. So T.K. Anandi, who is a scholar, messaged me, "Comrade, my report is there." That is a committee led by T.K. Anandi, where we stated all this. So this is the overall performance. But the fact of the matter is that majority of people in Kerala wanted government to change. That is what has happened. So we should find out whether we have contributed towards people coming to such a conclusion. That is what we are trying to find out.
One question. So you talked about the corporate Janata Party and you condemned the suppression, the shutting down of Amrita. But do you think that while they are attacking they are raising concerns and questions about government policy, do you also see somewhere a larger disillusionment with the political class? And how do the opposition parties see it? Do you see any impact on the politics in this country, on electoral politics in future meetings? Are you seeing anything like that?
You see, this is a question which we need to pay more attention to study. We have not undertaken such a study. All this had happened. 15th May was the observation of the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. 16th May, his response came. Then rest of the thing is history. It has become part of history. You see. Now, he has undertaken a lot of interviews I have seen in social media. A very senior journalist of The Hindu, Mr. Sambat, had an interview with him. Other journalists also had interviews with him. He was explaining, and he has been explaining very cogently. He is a 30-year-old who is a student of Boston University. He was working with the Aam Aadmi Party and all that for a period. He was also asked, "Are you disillusioned with the Aam Aadmi Party?" He said, "No, it's not." So there is a lot of frustration among the youth. And they are thinking in a different way, and they are reacting in a different way, which is very interesting. The kind of quick responses that coming from him. For example, Chief Justice saying that it's fake. I was only attacking fake degree holders. Then he saying, no, you should not have criticized the Prime Minister of India. So immediate. So they are working in a peculiar manner. Maybe their language is of Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever. So we have to study this. There is no doubt that with the rising unemployment, youth are very much frustrated with the way in which union government and most of the state governments are behaving. It's a big issue. Then he also spoke about lot of people, majority of Indians who don't have any opportunity for higher studies. So fake degree, Chief Justice says, the country is not giving us opportunity to study. Then you are criticizing that you are not well studied, you don't have any authority to speak about the problems of the country. So we need to give serious attention to that. And other question you ask, whether it's a general frustration in the mainstream political parties that exist in our country also, such questions would naturally come up.
But during this entire campaign during the Kerala election, one of the issues was the minimum land dispute, whether it is about property or not. At that time, the UDF leader, the CM, also promised that the issue will be resolved now. Recently, we have heard that now the state work board has notified it as a work property, putting the lives of all those 600 families into uncertainty. How do you see this development, and what is the basic issue? Because LDF was in power for almost a decade, and now UDF is in power. Why this issue has not been resolved, and what's the reason?
I think I should leave some important issues to be, decided and explained by the state committee of the party, this particular matter related to Munambam issue, they are going to hold the meeting. There they will discuss how the LDF government tried to resolve it. It went to the court also. Court also have gave a verdict. Now, how the matter can be handled. On such matters, if there is possibility, the ruling party, the ruling coalition and the opposition should also talk to each other and try to find a common solution to the problem. So, we should leave it to the Kerala.
ഉൾപ്പാട്ട് ജനാധിപത്യത്തെ കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ പാർട്ടിയുടെ താഴെത്തട്ടിലുള്ള പല കമ്മിറ്റികളും പിണറായി മാറണം എന്നൊക്കെയുള്ള തരത്തിലുള്ള വാർത്തകൾ വരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഉൾപ്പാട്ട് ജനാധിപത്യത്തിൽ അങ്ങനെ ഈ നേതൃമാറ്റം ഉണ്ടാകില്ല, മറിച്ച് ഈ വിമർശനങ്ങളുടെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ അതിന് തിരുത്തുക മാത്രമായിരിക്കും ഉണ്ടാകും.
ഇല്ല, പിന്നെ വിവിധ തലത്തിലെ കമ്മിറ്റിയിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ചർച്ചകളെ കുറിച്ച് പത്രങ്ങളിൽ വരുന്നതെല്ലാം ശരിയായിക്കൊള്ളണമെന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ മാറണമെന്നുള്ള ചർച്ചയും ചിലപ്പോൾ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ പല ചർച്ചയും നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതെല്ലാം പല ചർച്ചകളും വരും. നടന്ന ചർച്ചകളായിരിക്കും ചിലപ്പോൾ വരിക, നടക്കാത്ത ചർച്ചകളായിരിക്കും ചിലപ്പോൾ പത്രത്തിൽ വരിക. ഇപ്പോൾ പത്രത്തിൽ കണ്ടതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ എൻ്റെ പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്ത് ചോദിക്കുന്ന ചോദ്യത്തിന് ഞാൻ മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞാൽ ശരിയാകില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ കേരളത്തിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാ കമ്മിറ്റികളിലും ഉന്നയിക്കപ്പെട്ട വിഷയങ്ങൾ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ചർച്ചയ്ക്കും നിരീക്ഷണത്തിനും വരും. ആ സമയം മാത്രമേ ഈ പത്രങ്ങളിൽ ചിത്രീകരിക്കുന്ന പോലെയുള്ള ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ എന്ന് അറിയാൻ കഴിയുള്ളൂ. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ അതൊരു സാങ്കല്പികമായ ചോദ്യമാണ്. അല്ല, അത് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്ന് ആദ്യം നോക്കട്ടെ. ഇങ്ങനെ പാർട്ടിയുടെ മുമ്പിൽ ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, ആരെങ്കിലും മാറുക അവരുടെ ഉത്തരവാദിത്വത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ളതല്ല. പാർട്ടിയും പാർട്ടി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഓരോരുത്തരും അവരവരുടെ പ്രവർത്തന ശൈലിയിലും അവർ ഏറ്റെടുക്കുന്ന ചുമതലകൾ നിർവഹിക്കുന്നതിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും മാറ്റങ്ങൾ വരുത്തേണ്ടതുണ്ടോ, അതാണ് പാർട്ടി ചർച്ച ചെയ്ത് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. പാർട്ടിയിലെ രീതി എന്തെങ്കിലും പോരായ്മയോ മറ്റോ കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഉടനെ അവരെ മാറ്റുക എന്നുള്ളതല്ല. മാധ്യമങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇന്നയാൾ മാറ്റുമോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്ന തരത്തിൽ ആ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്നത് കൗതുകരമാകുമെന്നുള്ളത് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു സിദ്ധാന്തം നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം. ഞാൻ പറയുമ്പോൾ സർവ്വതും സദാ മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു എന്നതിന് മാത്രമേ മാറ്റമില്ലാത്തതായിട്ടുള്ളൂ. എല്ലാം മാറ്റത്തിന് വിധേയം. ഞാൻ കൂടുതൽ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങളെ സിദ്ധാന്തം പഠിപ്പിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ പുറപ്പെട്ടു എന്നുള്ളൊരു വാർത്ത വരുമെന്നില്ല. അപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ പാർട്ടി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഞങ്ങളെല്ലാം നിരന്തരം ഓരോ കമ്മിറ്റി കഴിയുമ്പോഴും ഞങ്ങൾ മാറാൻ ബാധ്യസ്ഥരാണ്. ആ കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ കേന്ദ്ര കമ്മിറ്റി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ കേന്ദ്ര കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ ചർച്ചയുടെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ എൻ്റെ സമീപനത്തിനകത്ത് മാറ്റം വരണം. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഓരോരുത്തരും. അതല്ലാതെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടത് എക്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആൾ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി മാറുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വേറൊരാൾ അതാണല്ലോ. അപ്പം ആ നിലയിലല്ല ഇതിനെ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്നത്. നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം പാർട്ടിയുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ വലിയ താല്പര്യവും ഉത്കണ്ഠയുണ്ടെന്ന് എനിക്കറിയാം. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്ന് പാർട്ടിക്കുള്ള ബലഹീനതകളോ കുറവുകളോ ഒക്കെ തിരുത്തി പാർട്ടി ഇപ്പോൾ തന്നെ നല്ല പാർട്ടിയാണ്, പക്ഷെ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നല്ല പാർട്ടി ആവുമോ എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമാണല്ലോ നിങ്ങളെ അലട്ടുന്ന കാര്യം. അതിന് ഞങ്ങൾ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഒരു സംശയം ഇല്ല. ഇത് പിന്നെ ലോക്സഭയിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ BJPക്ക് ഒരു അംഗം കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ളത് UDFന്റെ സീറ്റിൽ അവരെ തോൽപ്പിച്ചിട്ടാണ് വന്നത് എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്കറിയുമല്ലോ. അവിടെ UDFന്റെ വോട്ടിൽ ഒരു 1,00,000-നടുത്ത് കുറവുണ്ടായി. അതാണ് BJP സ്ഥാനാർത്ഥിയുടെ ഭൂരിപക്ഷമായിട്ട് മാറിയത്. ഇല്ലേ? മലയാളികൾ അറിയുന്ന കണക്കാണല്ലോ. മലയാളികളല്ലാത്ത പത്രത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ഇരിക്കുന്ന ചില മലയാളികൾ അവർക്ക് അറിയാം. നിയമസഭയിൽ സീറ്റുണ്ടായിരുന്നു നിയമം. ആ BJP ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ഇടതുപക്ഷത്തുള്ള BJP ഒരു സ്ട്രാറ്റജിക് ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ഓഫ് ഫോഴ്സ് നടത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട് കേരളത്തിൽ. LDFന്റെ ചില മണ്ഡലങ്ങളെ തോൽപ്പിക്കാനും LDFന്റെ ഭൂരിപക്ഷം കുറയ്ക്കാനും. അതിന് അവരുടേതായ കണക്കൂട്ടലുണ്ട് BJP. ഇതാണ് ചർച്ചയിലൂടെ വെളിപ്പെട്ടു വന്നിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ആശയം. അത് നിങ്ങളുമായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ പങ്കുവെക്കാൻ. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് മണ്ഡലങ്ങളെല്ലാം പരിശോധിക്കുന്ന ഘട്ടത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ വിവിധ വശങ്ങൾ കേരളത്തിൽ നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ചർച്ചയിൽ സൂക്ഷ്മമായിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ പരിശോധിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്.
ഈ പിണറായി വിജയനെ പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവായി തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്നതിൽ അതോ ഐകകണ്ഠ്യേനയുള്ള തീരുമാനമാണ്?
ഇത് സംബന്ധിച്ച് തീരുമാനിക്കേണ്ടത് സംസ്ഥാന സെക്രട്ടേറിയറ്റും സംസ്ഥാന കമ്മിറ്റിയുമാണ്. PB അംഗം കൂടിയാണ് പിണറായി വിജയൻ എന്നുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് PBയുടെ കൂടെ അറിവോടും സമ്മതത്തോടും കൂടിയാണ് അത് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. ഇക്കാര്യം PBയുടെ പരിഗണനയ്ക്ക് വന്നപ്പോൾ PB പിണറായി വിജയനെ പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവായിട്ട് തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കണമെന്ന സംസ്ഥാന സെക്രട്ടേറിയറ്റിൻ്റെ അഭിപ്രായത്തോട് യോജിച്ചു. അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് പിണറായി വിജയൻ. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള വിശദാംശങ്ങളിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ പോകണ്ടല്ലോ. പോൾ ബ്യൂറോ തീരുമാനിച്ചു എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാണ്. ഒരു പോൾ ബ്യൂറോ തീരുമാനിച്ചത് ആ തീരുമാനമാണ്. ഇലക്ഷനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രാഥമികമായ ചർച്ചയാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. വിശദമായ ചർച്ച ജൂലൈ മധ്യത്തിൽ നടക്കും. അതിനുശേഷം നിങ്ങളെ കാണാൻ ഞാൻ വരുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇത്തരത്തിൽ ഓക്കെ. ആ വിഷയത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ഞാൻ മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലോ. തീരുമാനമെടുത്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. അദ്ദേഹത്തെ പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവായിട്ട് അംഗീകരിക്കാനുള്ള സെക്രട്ടറിയുടെ അഭിപ്രായത്തിന് അംഗീകാരം കൊടുത്ത കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അതിനകത്ത് മാറ്റം വരുമെന്നൊക്കെ എന്തിനാണ് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സുഹൃത്തെ ഇപ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്? നല്ല ഊർജ്ജസ്വലനായിട്ട് പ്രതിപക്ഷ നേതാവിൻ്റെ സ്ഥാനം നിർവഹിക്കുക. അല്ല, നിങ്ങൾ വിമർശനം ഉണ്ടായി എന്നുള്ള നിങ്ങളുടെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു തരുന്നതാണ്. പാർട്ടി കമ്മിറ്റി നടന്നത് എന്താണെന്നുള്ള കാര്യം എനിക്ക് പൂർണ്ണമായിട്ട് അറിയണമെങ്കിൽ സംസ്ഥാന സെക്രട്ടേറിയറ്റിലും സംസ്ഥാന കമ്മിറ്റിയിലും പങ്കെടുക്കണം. അല്ല, അവിടെ നമുക്കറിയാൻ കഴിയും എന്താണെന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പം ഇങ്ങനെ നടന്നുവെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ പറയുന്നത് ശരിയാണോ തെറ്റാണോ എന്ന് എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടാ. വിവരമില്ലാതെ ഞാൻ ഒരു മറുപടി പറയരുതല്ലോ. അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് എനിക്കിപ്പോൾ വിവരമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ നന്ദി എല്ലാം. താങ്ക് യു.